Perfect. Thank you.
Alright, what's up everyone? Again, my name is Jerry. I'm the coordinator over at Change in Soma. And then Magdalena and I are going to be kind of training you and walking you through with you this frameworks for leadership. Because who you are as a coach, it's definitely a leadership position. But before we dive right into it, we're going to do this little activity here. It's called the Nobel Prize in Leadership. So, the thing is, you have the privilege of nominating a leader, well known or not, for the prestigious nationally broadcast Academy Awards for Leadership. You have 20 seconds or less to introduce this person to the nationwide television audience. Again, this is like hypothetical. What will you say? And then write your speech. So to do this, think of someone, and to prepare your speech, you have 5 minutes to prepare your speech. Does that make sense?
Just stressful.
So think about someone.
Anybody? Yeah, you could definitely pick me. That'd be cool.
So it can be someone who you may personally know, or someone you know, someone who you may look up to, fictional, non-fictional, those types of things.
Can you be fictional?
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure. Okay.
Yeah. Any questions? All right, awesome.
Can we grab a box of pens real quick and pass them out?
Yeah, we'll get there.
Okay.
Karina, nominate me and I'll nominate you.
Damn sure. I don't know.
Are we all sharing? Can you hand me that box of pens? Are you going to share? I think that's about
You're gonna be so it'll be like just like those who are. Any questions?
My man Porter Robinson because I mean it's above the rest.
I might do one of them. I'm going to mess up too.
Thanks, Jeff.
No, myself.
I'll just say you're extra vegan and that makes your leadership so great. It's because you're so organic.
Wow, look at this. Now, Ellen DeGeneres.
Alright, so you have 5 minutes starting.
No. Hey, ladies. Starting 5 minutes ago.
Starting now.
I feel like the best speeches are just came up with on the fly.
I don't even know who I'm trying to nominate,
I
bro.
want to nominate
Not everyone works like that, and we're going to talk about leadership, so just be quiet and write your speech.
Speech? Okay. I'm just going to write it in my head.
I really don't know who I'm trying to nominate. I have a bad thing.
I really can't think of somebody.
My man Tupac.
Besides Ellen DeGeneres is my
Oh, I'm typing mine in.
My food brother died, so that
Oh my!
15 seconds.
That's what
Oh my
I
gosh,
was
yes.
gonna do.
And then
No, you
say
said
it.
okay, you could, yeah, we might have to just say the name.
I did it like 2 weeks ago.
Wait, Karina, what's your thing on Instagram?
I just get there.
Why? Just tell me. Isn't that Karina underscore?
So,
They are? They are. R?
and then you just share.
Are you really?
Damn, okay then, never mind.
I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna nominate Uncle. Yeah.
Bailey, my dog.
Armstrong died, but. Wait, isn't your last name Armstrong?
Faith. Nominate Armstrong.
He's like the least leader. dog I've ever met.
Bailey.
Does anyone need more time?
Yeah.
30 more seconds.
One more day.
That's what you're gonna say. Okay, is everyone done with their speeches?
No.
Sure.
Feeling great about it?
Not really, it's 5 minutes. But
So, take a moment to share your speech or your person with the person next to you. It's okay if you didn't totally finish your speech. Doesn't have to be perfect. But just share it and kind of think about maybe the commonalities or differences you see between the leaders that you picked. So you have a moment to do that.
we chose Puerto Rico.
And like she talks about like the injustice and the cruelty and that's how Indigenous Islanders and I feel like I was like, that was pretty
No, you're fine. I just might like.
yeah, it's like
I said Puerto Rico. I need trees from shelter.
that's where I just wish I could money out and like be able to do residential songs. My friend was like, don't move in until like you're done with it's like,
So you all shared with your partner, right?
Yeah.
Do they have a pretty cool person in mind? Yeah. That's totally fine.
I'm kidding.
In the interest of time, you don't have to share at all. But think about the commonalities, the similarities that you guys have in the person that you chose, why you chose that person in their leadership. If they're different, examine that as well. And then as you examine that, think about what your definition of leadership looks like, right? Because it's going to be different with your partner, with the person in front of you, and those around you. And that's kind of what we're going to examine today, is the different forms of leadership.
All right. So, did you have a question?
What now?
Oh, just joking. All right. I can respect that. So one other thing we wanted to note here is that as you're thinking about your definition of leadership, there are also some traditional perspectives on like this idea of like a leader is a formal role, like you have a job, you're a president of a thing, you're a captain of a team. And so I just wanted to bring up this idea that there is formal and also informal leadership roles. So this quote is, formal or positional leadership leadership revolves around the possession of title, recognition, or resources. Yet some people exercise leadership through the character and the competence they bring to a task and the recognition they acquire through the quality and effectiveness of what they do. So it's kind of a lot of words to just say that, like, we have our formal titles and then we also have these other informal roles that we hold that can totally count as leadership as well. So that's just another facet to consider when you're thinking about what is a leader, what type of leader are you, and what types of leadership styles exist.
So let's dive into our first leadership style. So visionary leadership, a visionary leader, they see what could be in the future, they can articulate where a group is going, but not how it will get there. They set people free to innovate, experiment, and take calculated risks. Know the big picture and how a given job fits in and give people clarity. They move people towards shared dreams. So they very much see the big picture. They know where to go, and in some cases they may not know how to get there, and that's where some other folks may come in to help them. What other stuff kind of helps you envision like a visionary leader? What do you think? A visionary leader.
Who do you picture?
Musician.
Someone who learns from the past very well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Musicians as like visionary leadership, because they're, I mean, not everyone is all visionary, not visually, but like they usually are the ones that like with music videos and stuff like that. I don't know. That makes
Oh,
sense.
okay. I see what you're saying. Like they see what they want,
Yeah.
right? It's a matter of like getting there.
Yeah.
I see. Nice. I like these examples. So let's take a look at our first example of a visionary leader. Who's this person?
Tim.
Come on!
Whoa.
Where's Tim? Tim, can you raise your hand real quick?
Do you want to read this direct quote?
Tim, can you
Yes.
can you read your quote here, if you don't mind?
Actually, I can't.
Oh, okay. I can read.
Okay. Use your Tim voice, Jerry.
I don't know if I can do that. So Tim, this is a quote from him. It says, "Too many students from my math classes are dropping out of college without a degree. I should start a program that helps them finish their degrees and bring their gifts back home to lead in their communities." So what programs were they?
Access,
And
ready to rise.
interesting.
What a vision.
What a vision.
Whoa.
Yeah, so this is very much visionary leadership.
Then we have coaching leadership. So coaching leaders prioritize establishing rapport and trust. They communicate genuine interest in people, and they help the people that they're mentoring identify their unique strengths and weaknesses. They do emphasize encouraging others, helping them reach their goals, and they're good at delegating tasks. So they also, another unique aspect is that they give others challenging assignments that stretch them. So they like to challenge the people that they're leading as well. And they tolerate short-term failure because they see the long-term payoff and the long-term benefits despite maybe short-term failures. So are there any examples that you can think of? Maybe think beyond just a coach, or if you have a specific example of a coach that comes to mind with these.
Teachers.
Teachers?
Because they're able to identify the weaknesses in their students, but they're also able to help them clarify where they're making mistakes and help them encourage what to do to perform.
Yeah, nice.
I was gonna say outside directors.
Why?
Well, because they have all of those qualities listed on the trajectory. Reading that, I just thought it very, very much.
Okay, nice. Any other examples people are burning to share? Okay, so then we have this clip of an actual coach to demonstrate some of the characteristics that we listed.
I'm really nervous about this one.
Is this useful nice?
You shouldn't have been nervous.
Okay,
One moment, please. Ignore the man behind the curtain.
Oh, over there.
You might have to act it out again.
True. In the X6 one, none of the videos worked, so I had to act out all of these videos. Everyone was quite prepared.
they still reference them, so they're memorable.
I knew what I was doing.
There's no crying in baseball.
What the heckaroonies?
Might have to add to that.
I don't want to.
I want you to. I hope the sound doesn't work.
Narrate it. She's like, I'm so
There, leave a button. Yeah, that's right.
So it sounds like that has fun. Oh wait. Yeah.
That was a sound.
Great.
I'm a cursing. Okay, one more time. Great moments.
We don't have to get the visual, we can just get the audio of it.
True.
Yeah, true.
So smart.
That's why we chose you.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. And that's what you have here tonight, boys. That's what you earned here tonight. One game. If we play them 10 times, they might win 9. But not this game. Not tonight. Tonight, we skate them. Tonight, we stay with them. And we shut them down because we can. Tonight, we are the greatest hockey team.
It's panning over their faces and they're like,
You were born to be hockey players. Every one of you. And you were meant to be here tonight. This is your time. Their time is done. It's over. I'm sick and tired of hearing about what a great hockey team the Soviets have. Screw them. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
very inspiring. You're welcome.
Okay. Anyone ready to play hockey?
Yes.
Psyched?
Sure.
Alright, cool. So that was the
Beat the
point of that
Soviets.
clip. Did anyone happen to notice characteristics of the coaching leadership style in this clip?
Firm. Oh, he was very affirmative, very firm. Inspirational, I guess.
Nice.
He
Yeah.
did acknowledge their faults. I really like the part where he said if we played them 10 times, they'd beat us 9. So it's like, it does acknowledge that, like, it's like a tough challenge. Like, it doesn't have to be an opponent, but like, if you had like your math test that you've been struggling about, it's like, you may fail it 9 times, but like, you just need to pass it once.
Alright. Well.
Yep, moving along. Sorry to distract.
Oh.
Great moments.
The disrespect. Alright, next time you can watch the next video.
Awesome. So now that we have that, let's move on to democratic leadership. So democratic leaders, they seek consensus on the direction of a group, are generally people-oriented. The feelings and thoughts of their followers matter to them, so it's very much taking into account other folks around them. Seek others' advice, are good listeners, create the sense that they truly want to hear others' thoughts and concerns. are available to listen, are true collaborators, working as team members rather than top-down leaders. They know how to quell conflict and create a sense of harmony. What keywords here distinguish democratic leaders from the other forms of leadership? Yes.
Seek consensus.
Seek consensus. What else?
Collaborators.
Collaboration. Good.
Good listeners.
Good listeners. Anything else? Yeah.
Listening.
Listening. Interesting.
A sense of harmony. Yeah.
Sense of harmony.
Like kumbaya with
People
everyone.
oriented.
Any others?
They want like opinions and thoughts on the other, like on whatever they're thinking of.
Mm-hmm. It's not
I was saying, true collaborators.
true collaborators. I like that. I think for many of you, you hinted at one huge one that I think is huge for democratic leaders. I think you had pointed it out. I was listening to others and kind of considering their opinions as well. And the key word here is others, right? Taking in the perspective of other folks around them and making a decision based on other folks and working together as a team. Who do you know or may personally know or know fictional character or non-fictional character or person, real life person who exemplifies like democratic leadership? Yeah.
Nalani Linder and Harry Potter.
And Harry Potter. Can you explain why for both of them?
So Nalani Linder because even though like a lot of the times we have established curriculum, we always have a meeting every week. She wants to hear everybody's opinions and thoughts, and if anybody has any suggestions or changes, she's always super open to it. And also Harry Potter because I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, but also because he seeks the guidance of other people within his network, I guess, and within like the people that he cares about and that he knows can help him. And he doesn't necessarily put himself above everybody else. So he looks for everybody else's guidance and tries to like put that together to have, to make a final solution. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it sounds like that collaboration and there's like that with a top-down approach. It's not like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Yes. Did you have, is this your hand? Oh, okay. Awesome. Any other examples? Let's take a look at the one that we have. Does anyone know who this is?
She's like the oldest lady on the
Supreme Court.
Yeah, Supreme Court.
Supreme Court. Whoa.
And she is pretty stern.
Yeah.
Ruth Bader.
Awesome. Yeah, exactly. So Ruth RBG.
Yep.
Notorious.
So Ruth Bader Ginsburg is Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. And she says, I'm a very strong believer in listening and learning from
She also has some really great feminist quotes. If you're like interested, she's pretty cool.
Feminist queens.
So transformational leaders have the ability to inspire and motivate their followers. They seek to bring change in their environment or community by improving on the current situation. They tend to anticipate problems before they come and act accordingly. Were any of the other leadership styles we talked about similar to this one so far?
Visionary.
Visionary. So do you notice any major difference between visionary and transformational?
Transformational focus on the now, while visionary focuses on the future.
Okay, any other differences?
Brings change to their environment or community.
Okay, so maybe a little more like proactive.
I feel like they're more action, like more compared to like the visionary leader, because the visionary could easily be more like of a talker, or like oh I could do this, I could do that. But transformational like is more hands-on and gets more into like action and actually doing it.
So transformational is anticipating the process, while visionary doesn't necessarily know the process to get there.
I feel like coaching is the coach, and then like transformational is like the player. It's like they're kind of like the example that you see that helps them like inspire and motivate them to do better.
Yeah, nice. They could win some hockey games.
Yeah.
Okay, So let me see our example on this
Oh,
one.
shit.
Anyone heard of this guy?
No.
Can someone read this quote for me?
Please, someone do.
But someone do it in his voice.
Someone do it in his
You
voice.
gotta do it in his voice.
Well, since you said so, go ahead.
Gotta do that thing he does with his
You
hand.
can read it in your regular voice, any voice you want,
You should do it.
preferably out loud.
I can't do his voice.
You know his birthday.
All right, sure, or your own voice. Go
Oh.
for it.
Change will not come if we wait for some other person. I can't read.
No.
For some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we see.
Nice, thank you. Any characteristics you see in him with transformational leadership? Not at all? Maybe we were wrong on this example.
No. He actually gets stuff done. He does, like, when he says something, most times he actually does it.
When he
He's
can.
more of
He
a...
inspired.
Yeah, when he can.
When he can.
He's a busy guy.
I was gonna say his healthcare initiative has given a lot of people healthcare and opportunities that wouldn't have had them otherwise, like me. Like I have Obamacare, whatever you wanna call it, Applecare, but it's awesome. So I think he put into action what he said he was going to. It's not always gonna be exactly what a politician says it's going to be, but it is affecting them. It really is helping a lot of people, and taking that away would have really be detrimental, I think, to a large population.
Alright, so let's take a look at our second to last leadership style. Pace setting leadership. So pace setting leaders expect excellence and exemplify it. Hold and exemplify. I can't talk today. Hold and exemplify high standards for performance. Are obsessive about doing things better and faster and ask the same of everyone. Quickly pinpoint poor performers, demand more from them, and if they don't rise to the occasion, they rescue the situation themselves. What about pace setting leaders kind of pops out to you?
Fast food.
Why?
My boss.
Can you elaborate a little bit on?
Okay, so when we're busy, the boss kind of steps in, like, hey guys, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that.
Okay.
Yeah, just telling everyone what to do so we're faster.
Yes.
And it's like there is like an overall picture that like what pacing leaders I feel like are really good at is like they focus on one step at a time and make sure they get it done, and then they take the next step forward.
Interesting. Yep.
I'd say they do a good job of leading by example, and just setting that tone and that pace, and creating a culture around that. But also it can be a place where if there's a different type of leader there, they have a different style, high tense, anxiety, like stressed out environment. So I think it's two things kind of like pro and con. That's
Yeah, thank you. Let's take a look at our example.
Seats, gentlemen. Morning. You may now have the privilege of serving under the meanest, toughest, screamingest squadron commander in the Marine Corps. Me. Now, I don't want you to consider me as just your commanding officer. I want you to look on me like I was, well, God. If I say something, you pretend it's coming from the burning bush. Now, we're members of the proudest, most elite group of fighting men in the history of the world. We are Marines, Marine Corps fighter pilots. We have no other function. That is our mission. You're either going to hack it or pack it. Do you read? In 30 days, I'm going to lead the toughest flying sons of bitches in the world. The 312 Orbital Squadron will make history, or it will die trying. Now you're flying with full meat now, and I kid you not, this is the eye of the storm. Welcome aboard.
Okay, and so this is the sixth leadership style we're going to talk about today. standards required of followers. They exercise firm authority over them. They demand immediate compliance with orders, but don't bother explaining the reasons behind them. So just do it because I say so, let's just get it done. And they sometimes resort to threats. Seek tight control of any situation and monitor it studiously, and are very task-oriented. So one example I like to bring up here is, or not example, but rather context, because a lot of these sound kind of bad immediately. And just to point out that they kind of depend on the context, and so one context in which this leadership style is actually beneficial is in crisis situations, so like emergency responders, or even if you're just like in a building and it catches on fire or something, and you're like, I'm gonna whip out my direct leadership, everyone go out that door, everyone grab this thing, and you're just like throwing out rules and people just need to follow them. And so that's sort of an example that illustrates how this is a useful leadership style, and we're talking about it's not just like, look at all these traits of some awful person doing this. So are there any other maybe examples that you can think of, or situations where being a directive leader might be useful?
I feel like a good friend like really fits this spot, because like say you have somebody who comes up to you and they're like, oh, you know, I'm like failing this class, but it's like no biggie. It's like you want to like make it like really like in the mind, you like want to set the tone and be like, yo, you should like go see that teacher like right now. Like you want to make it very imperative for them.
Yeah, good example. I like that it relates to like your potential college situations here. You might not always be in a building that's on fire, but sometimes it feels like it because of academics. Any other examples?
Yeah, I would say for me, I'd be with me and my 5-year-old son when we're in the grocery store. There's no explanation as to why you're not getting anything. We're going here, back to the car. There we go.
Nice. Alright, so then, we talked about the emergency situations relevant. So real quick, we're just going to do a little recap here of the 6, because we just went through them all and you might not have them memorized off the top of your head. So visionary, again, the main thing was that they see the bigger picture. Coaching, they help others to be their best, which can include acknowledging weaknesses and taking short-term failures. Democratic leaders really seek the input from the group. Transformational leaders inspire change. Pace setting, they expect and exemplify excellence. And directive is just like, do it because I say so. You're not buying any treats at the grocery store. We're just getting it done and going down. And so the other point I want to make here is that these are the 6 that we covered today, but there are actually like many more. It's just that we can't stand here and list off like 1,533 leadership styles for you. But you can imagine how these can also combine maybe, like maybe reading through the characteristics of these today, you were like, oh yeah, I'm totally about seeing the big picture, but like I'm also very much into like exemplifying excellence in the way that I lead and have high standards, so maybe you're a mix of those two. Or maybe like none of these characteristics resonated with you and you were like, these are all kind of trash to me, I like this style. So are there any other leadership styles maybe that you thought of or that you think are missing from this list?
Isn't there like a quiet leader? Someone who like...
Yeah, it's kind of like lets you do it by yourself. Not in the by yourself way, but just like stands on the side and just kind of let you live and learn.
Yeah, like sort of behind the scenes type of maybe.
Like
Yeah, I like that one. I'm an advocate of that. Any others? Maybe other leadership characteristics that you didn't really see listed here? Wow, this is a perfect list. We did it.
Yep.
Yes.
Does anyone identify super strongly with a particular one here that they want to talk about? Maybe give an example of?
Visionary. They don't do anything.
So you liked all them, but you didn't relate to any of them? Yeah. Alright. That's cool. Okay, well these 6 are good to keep in mind as you continue maybe trying to define your own leadership style, and then of course remember that it's not limited to the 6, so you're allowed to think of more later, even if you didn't list them now. But it can be useful to keep these in mind just to have a way to articulate your leadership style and to figure out how you might work best in different situations utilizing different characteristics.
Who is familiar with a Swiss Army?
Do we get one?
Fire.
Oh yeah. What is a Swiss Army knife?
It's like a multi-tool pretty much. Like it has like a knife and then like a nail file on it, right? I don't know, some like a corkscrew or like a yeah.
Yeah.
It's just screws. Anything you could
all
possibly
those things.
Yeah. Cut things. Looks like it has like
a saw, scissors, a little pliers,
screwdriver, a can opener. I do see a can opener. Why are we bringing up a Swiss Army knife in the forms of leadership?
Because leadership, you can use all of those in different senses, in different circumstances.
Yes, I like that.
You're
Correct.
a multi-use tool.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah. Think of yourself as a coach and relating it back to you as a coach. You have all of these resources as these different forms of leadership. And when you're coaching your Ready to Rise scholar, and whatever they may be navigating through on the college campus, you can use your own Swiss Army knife, the tools that you have, the different leadership styles that you think is most appropriate to address the situation, right? So if a scholar is going to do something and you think that, maybe I should be a coach leader or express coach leadership rather than directive leadership because that's not appropriate to do so, that's definitely something that you can exercise yourself, right? What's interesting is that I don't have a Swiss Army knife, but I have this this wallet that I have. And this wallet that I have is it's metal and it has multiple purposes. So it's like a screwdriver, it measures things, it has a protractor. Who's familiar with what a protractor is? Yeah, awesome. It can nail things in as a bottle opener. So I like to think of this as like my Swiss Army knife where whatever the situation calls, I can use whatever tool that's on here in the most appropriate way given the situation. Right? So think of yourself as a Swiss Army, right? Any questions on that one? No? Awesome.
Alright, so they're setting up some snacks back there, so feel free to grab a snack and some lemonade. And then Lonnie is going to go over the contract with you guys. So go to the bathroom and get some snacks for like 5 minutes.
Tacoma students, your food is in the kitchen, and everybody else. Hello, I'm Lori. I'm the site director from Tacoma. A lot of you are here. I smiled at a lot of you. Welcome.
Pretzel chips, you said?
Yeah, will you give me that?
Yeah, bro.
We're turning back to my spot.
I was like, should I throw them at you?
Rising Gig.
Let's see if I can eat these.
Alright, so also, fruit and
We'll just leave it on the table.
Okay, I need you to put it downstairs.
Okay. If you're not from Tacoma and want some food, then we've got some snacks here too.
I guess I'm just so it's like having glasses on.
This is Molly.
Oh, yes.
It's life changing. It's the crunchiest thing I've eaten. And
What? I'm just. Oh, okay.
These are the snacks.
I'm really just living my best life right now.
I'm glad you're enjoying them thoroughly.
Yeah, I probably slow down though.
They're begging for cupcakes.
Hey, Marcia.
Yo.
Aren't you glad I didn't say banana? She literally said
lost
that.
Did she bring oranges?
How would you rate that?
10 out of 10. Like that was just a good.
Thank you.
What's up with the backpack? Can you do it? Are you like a cat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your middle name?
Yeah.
That's funny. That's my first name. That's my dad's name.
Yeah.
It's the owner of the Okay. Got it.
I'm just asking for you.
I mean, I get it's like the biggest flat area, but
Right. I like your shirt.
Oh, thank you.
Did you see them in February? I was supposed to see them on Saturday, but I didn't find out till like today. Oh, right. No, it's okay. I'm just gonna wait till they come back.
Oh my god.
They'll come back. Are you blonde right now?
What?
Are you blonde?
Am I blonde?
Is your hair blonde?
No.
No, you look blonde.
It's brown gang.
No, yeah, I thought you. I was gonna say it was a look. Yeah, it's a look if it is blonde.
Dude. When I get hair back.
Bryson, didn't you just release new music or something?
Oh yeah, he dropped a fire tape.
Got that album.
Yeah, we listened to it on the way.
Where'd you get that one though?
I need to sit next to this stuff.
Hi, baby.
Blue.
I miss my baby. Oh, what's
Dude, these burger straws go hard, dude.
Mom, let's see. Yes, Mom.
Nah, dude, I used to hate on these. I'm not gonna lie.
Really? Are those ranch kind?
Straw? Dang.
I want to talk to Carlos. I came here, put down on the ground, and look at the stuff. Lori, you're the best. Thank you. Thanks, Mom.
No, bro.
Peanut butter.
Dude, I didn't want him to drink up all that
Oh,
thing.
yeah. I'll be here.
What I do
eat
is
those.
just like full force that I think at one point they were talking, I panned over and I just started kind of.
He was like on the ground rolling with the dog. Like, I thought it was his dog. So these two brought a dog.
No, that man was hard. Doing for real. I'm gonna be so mad if I can't find that twist.
We're looking for
When?
right now.
Oh.
Faith was like, what is that?
Oh, there it is. Twix game. Twix game. Oh, my Twix game. Dude. Hey, right Twix gang.
How was Capital Hill?
Still running?
Right, please.
Stop.
Okay.
I only went like one day.
I know. I actually kind of forgot about
That's
it,
alright.
to be
I
honest.
paid for it. Thanks for letting me have it.
Yeah.
Like,